Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ask Amber, and today I'm going to show you how to add a custom AFK animation to your avatar and how to add a face animation to go with it. If you're looking for an avatar to work on, feel free to check out my Patreon where I add new Unity packages every month that you can download and edit. You can also buy individual packages from me on Gumroad, or join my Discord server to see even more options, get free assets, and ask questions. And don't forget to follow me on Twitch for live, real-time avatar making, artwork, and more. With all that out of the way, let's get started. To add a custom animation to your AFK mode, first you need the anim file. If you don't know how to create one of these or you have questions, just feel free to go back and look at my video on how to create avatar animations for 3.0, and that should help you out a lot. The animation that I use is a variation of an animation that I downloaded from Sam's server on Discord. And he's a really awesome creator that makes a lot of different animations. So I have two anim files for this. I have one that is the body, and you can see a preview of it here in the bottom corner if you look. And I have one that is the face, and when I look in the animation, I can see that I made these face properties available, and I made the animation file just the way I would make any other facial animation. Now these two have to go into different places because the body is going to go into your action layer because it is a full movement of your body, and the AFK face is going to go into your effects layer. Now I do it a little differently than I'm sure anyone else does, but this is just because it saves my own sanity, and I'm not sure why the original action layer is set up the way that it is. So this is the way that works for me, and you are welcome to give advice in the comments or tell me the way that you do it as well. I'd love to hear from you. But the way I do it is I go into my action layer that we've already set up in a previous video. I'm going to double click on that, and you see here's where we put all of our emotes. Now down here we have the AFK animations. So I don't like to use this middle animation. I like it to go straight into AFK and then straight into blend out. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete this. And you see now that these are not connected. So first things first, I'm going to go and click on this first little square, and I'm going to add my full body animation into this motion. So I'm going to make sure that this is my custom animation, and you can put whatever you want in here, like any sort of animation that you want. Feel free to put that in here. Once you have that done, you're just going to right click on this little area right here and click make transition, and it's going to have this little arrow pop out. You're going to want to click it onto the blend out, and what you're going to see is in here you have the VRC animator tracking control when you still clicked on this first box, and you're going to want to click this top button, which is going to select all. That's going to give everything in this animation over to your animation. So basically it's not going to be tracking you at all. So all of your animations is going to be given over to this animation right here, which is what you want, because if you're AFK, you don't want to have any ability to use tracking on this animation. When you click on the second one, you're going to want to do the opposite. For your VRC animation tracking control, you're going to want to put it all on tracking. So the first one, all animation, the second one, all tracking. And these are already set up in your action layer. When you click on the second one, you're going to want to have no AFK mode in here, so I'm just going to go ahead and click to none for your blend out. Then the tricky part comes where you select the little arrow in between these that you just created. It shows your animation right there. That's great. And what you're going to want to do is click off has exit time, and in this conditions area you're going to want to click the little plus button, and in this drop down where it says VRC emote, you're going to want to click AFK, and then you're going to want to change this to false, because that means when AFK is false, it's going to turn your AFK off. If you look at what happens when you click the arrow that's already created for you right here, you see that it says AFK and true, which means that if you go from here to here, it's going to set your AFK to true to get to this animation, and then when your AFK is false, it's going to go to this animation, which is none, and it's going to blend you out. And that is it for adding your AFK. Now, if you want to add a facial animation to your AFK layer, it's going to be a little different than this. We're going to have to go into the effects layer. Now, if you've watched my previous videos, your action layer and your effects layer should already be added to your avatar descriptor in these areas. If they're not, then go ahead and add them now. And we're going to go ahead and move on to the effects layer. Now, in your effects layer, you have your left hand and your right hand already set up, so we're not going to touch those at all. We're going to click over to parameters, and we're going to add a new parameter. You just click this plus button, and in the plus button, there's a little pop-up and you're going to click bool, which is a boolean, and you're just going to write AFK. Now this boolean is already set up in your SDK, so you don't really need to do anything else other than put AFK and leave this little checkbox unchecked. Then I'm going to go back into my layers and I'm going to add a new layer with this plus button, and I'm going to name this AFK as well. Then you're going to click on this little cogwheel right here and set your weight on the top, slide it all the way to the right to 1. Once that's done, we can start working on this layer. So I'm just going to set this up a little differently. I'm going to move these. You have any state, entry, and exit. I'm going to move my entry above my any state. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click and then create state empty. And I'm going to put this new state underneath any state. I'm going to call it wait. This is going to be a waiting period in between your AFK in and out. And then I'm going to right click on any state and make transition into wait. Then I'm going to go ahead and repeat that process. I'm going to right click, create state empty, and this new state, I'm going to click on that and call it AFK on. In this one, I'm going to go to my motion and I'm going to add my AFK face. I'm going to create one more state, empty, click on that, call it AFK off, and I'm going to leave this motion as none. Then I'm going to create a transition from wait to AFK on, from AFK on to AFK off, and from AFK off to exit. In between wait and AFK on, I'm going to click on that little arrow, and I'm going to add a condition. I'm going to drop it down and click on AFK, and I'm going to set this to true, because from wait to AFK on, we want it to be true. I'm going to click off exit time. I'm going to click on the next arrow down and do the same thing, but have it be false. AFK, false. Click off has exit time. Then you just make sure that your AFK off has no motion in it. I'm going to make sure that my AFK off has none. Then I'm going to click on the little arrow between AFK off and exit, and I'm going to click off has exit time. And that's it. That way, when you click your AFK on, your face will go on at the same time as your body. And then you have your AFK mode set up in your FX layer. Make sure that your FX layer is added to your avatar descriptor in the proper area and your action layer as well. And you're good to go. There's a lot you can do with this AFK mode. There's so many different ideas and options and really cool things. I'd recommend checking out the VRChat official Discord and seeing what other people have done, because there's some really awesome things, and all you have to do is create your own animation file and set it up this way in your FX layer and also in your action layer. I hope this video has helped you guys, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.